It's the last game of the first round robin here in the middle of day 3 of the group stage here at MSI, and G2 Esports have been a pleasant surprise, or at least a pleasant run through of expectations here for the European fans. They're 3-1, beating SKT in the opening game. Fangvu Buffalo, a team they are now expected to beat based on current form. And a 4-1 run with a later on fight against IG is going to be something people are going to be watching for with the G2 squad. Regardless, they are here to give one of Europe's best performances that MSI has seen.
Meanwhile, the Fangvu Buffalo, this team has created upsets in the past. We already talked about Worlds last year. They were able to get nearly 2 wins against G2 Esports, and they were able to take down the Flash Wolves. And a lot of what we've seen from them in this tournament is that they've found early leads. They've actually found kill advantages, gold advantages, but then they make that one crucial mistake and they end up floundering and everything starts to fall apart. We saw it against the Flash Wolves. We saw it a couple times against Team Liquids in the play-in stage, and we just kind of want to see them convert those early advantages into an actual game win.
This level 1, not as spicy as the last 2 IG games we had seen, and it's going to be a bit slower here as Caps and Null will do a bit of battle here in the mid lane as Null walks up, tries to deny some farm, and misses 1 CS, but he's okay.
And we did talk about it in the draft where Aurelia against Orianna, typically a little weak in the early laning phase for the Aurelia, given that she is a melee matchup and she's going to be dealing with a lot of harass. We are seeing trading in the bot lane.
A lot of damage towards Perkz, and Mickey's not getting the knock-up there. Perkz running low, and the flash in! He had cleanse, not heal, so they've got the damage output and the kill at level 1.
Last auto for the Plasma Stacks is so quick there, pre-2 minutes into the game. We're talking about the bottom lane, and that being the strength of the Fangvu Buffalo. They find the 2v2 kill. Mikyx did not get the knockback on his Justice Punch while Perkz was taunted. Perkz sat it, did not cleanse, then flash late, and he goes down.
And I love this play from Fangvu Buffalo. They utilized the early power that Shen does have. The fact that they took Taunt at level 1, they were able to set up this play. But you can see here, moving aggressively, landing that, and as you identified, the Justice Punch not connecting to help provide that peel. Now they're going for another kill!
Round number 2, Mikyx burning down, but the last auto doesn't connect.
There a W?
No. No, he's not going to get this kill, but it's still a forced recall. Double summoners out of the G2 support. Now the only one up is that single cleanse for Perkz, and bottom lane is massive here for PVB.
Really has been the standout for them at this tournament. We'll see what they can do, because a lead from the bottom side, if you can get your Shen to level 6, that is transferable across the map for them, and it really does put a stop to a lot of those all-in plays.
And look, now that they have priority in both mid and bot, this has allowed Meliodas to invade into the enemy jungle and steal away Jankos' blue buff. So this early game, the first 10 minutes of the game, we talked about it. This is the window that Fangvu Buffalo should look to take advantage of.
Oh, does he flash the wall? Does he flash the wall? Caps only has flash. A flash knock-up is a death.
He doesn't go for it.
E cooldown's up. He's waiting for that. He has E into flash. There's a Q.
Just stopping the recall here. They've got Jankos in the backside. If they go for it, Jankos is coming.
He's going to get stopped. He flashes over the wall, gets a bit of a reset, finds a stun. He's running away. The flash to follow. Meliodas can just die to Karthus. They're trying to put the damage down. There's the first kill picked up, and the second. Now can he dodge the Skittles? Can he get away from it? Meliodas with the second kill, and he gets away with it. 3-0 Fangvu Buffalo.
Oh my goodness. They come all the way around the turret in the end. Jankos is also baited in for another kill. PVB get 2-4-1 there.
And you have to start being critical of G2 Esports. That was an overconfident play. Caps could have just flashed out. He could have just disengaged, but instead he tried to make the outplay, and Fangvu Buffalo find themselves another 2 kills.
And now it's no summoner's bottom lane. That taunt lands as you had the support roam, and just look at this. It's so tough for Caps.
Yeah, all right. He flashes over the Orianna ball into the queue to try and get away. Meliodas actually taking tower aggro by hitting the Prey Seeker and flashing forward. No, finishes off the kill though, and then he dodges the critical Q.
And also, Jankos in that situation, because even though he was landing Qs onto Meliodas, he was also hitting minions. So the reduced Skittle damage was not enough to find that kill. And now the bot lane, continued trades going between the two.
Dodge zone comes up, and it's just the taunt, then walking away. Mikyx not able to make that trade look too good. Do want to point out that Perkz has gone equal in farm despite the death, despite the summoner disparity. He is still farming just fine. Of course, the kill matters and that gold is relevant, but the lane otherwise keeping a bit equal, looking to see what round 2 might be down here overall this game. 400 ahead, and now it's going to be a taunt and a knockup for Mickey X, but the dodge zone is there, and now Meliodas here, and it's Summoner. Let's keep in mind, this could be the easy knockup. Blue Smite, knockup on Mickey, he's going to drop. There it is, 4-0, and Hanoi goes wild.
Oh my goodness, the Fong Vu Buffalo are standing tall today, continuing to throw out these plays, so aggressive, and finding the rewards.
Beautiful.
You got another fight.
Fong Vu.
Caps gets decent damage. All right, back out, but he's at half HP, and suddenly Meliodas zeroed yet again. Finds the Q, but he's not in range for a knockup. This could be enough. Not just quite able to walk away.
Whew. European fans are sweating right now as they see, oh, thank God, Caps finally gets out of that situation, because Zeros was even making his way down towards the middle lane. But the Buffalo, they bring in Meliodas for today's game. Duhao has been the primary jungler for them for the first 2 days, but so far, his early pressure with the Rek'Sai, been involved in 3 of the 4 kills, and now Mickey could get caught out once again.
Ignite is on. Aftershock now times out. The Summoner's coming up. Nice shockwave into the Unburrow, and it's 5-0 in 6 minutes.
With supports on the roam, Pallet finds the taunt here once again, getting Mickey X, and another kill going over to the Buffalo. That one, though, was picked up by Rek'Sai, who now has a bounty on his head. That is something that is fairly risky, because Rek'Sai is definitely a burstable champion, but my goodness, that is going to help with the snowball. You get an early Warriors, and the burst damage is insane.
And now I want to see Fong Vu Buffalo keep snowballing this lead. They are in such a perfect position, but they've been in this position many times before, so get as many kills as you can, build up what advantages you can before the Casters hits that level 6 mark. And now we got to look back at Mickey X getting caught out.
Yeah, he sees the control ward pop down there in the brush. Doesn't really react quick enough, because I think that G2 were probably had their eyes in an offensive look there, looking for the play they wanted to create on mid lane. And Pallet just walks up, he lands the taunt, and the follow-up is there once again for PVB.
And now a fight for ward control, and that's Pallet who knocks that one down. Controller goes their way.
As we take a moment, the 1 point of strength. G2 is winning top side. Wonder with the Rise pick into Akali does have a huge advantage up there on the top side. Akali now approaching that level 6 point, but again, it's been about bottom lane.
And they're going to find yet another knockup on a Mickey. Experts flashing away, but there is not an escape route easily for the Galio. Does have flash, not going to be able to burn it in time. Big Koro takes him down. 0-3 for the G2 support.
And Meliodas, he's just stealing away the jungle camps. He's now hit that level 6 mark, and Jankos, he cannot answer with the Karthus. There have been no, well, outside of the mid counter ganks that fell apart, Meliodas has just had his number, and while Perks flashes out, Mickey is just left to deal with the 3 members. He can't flash away to safety. He knows he's going to go down. And this is the kind of play I want to see from Fong Vu Buffalo, continuing to snowball their lead.
Exactly, and that money goes in the right place. They give the kill to Kai'Sa, trying to get Big Koro fed. This is a cleansed Kai'Sa. That is so much better for later in the game when you have the anti-stun for team fights, and they're trying to funnel as much money as they possibly can into him early on. Jankos wants to answer back, but Meliodas forces the flash.
Forces the flash. Mickey is here, actually, so it would be a 3-on-2. Ooh, and Zero's actually forced backwards. Has the ult available. Gets out.
They saw Mickey X move there. Rek'Sai passive.
Yep.
They got the ping.
And immediately they disengage, so good awareness there from Fong Vu Buffalo. Let's just take a second to appreciate that they have a 3,000 gold lead over G2 with only 9 minutes into the game. This bot lane has been playing phenomenally. Some criticism has been going over towards the bot lane of G2, and while arguably they've been laning well, Perks' positioning has been questionable, and the fact that G2's duo has found a number of 2v2 kills against a number of the best bot lanes in the world, the fact that Big Koro and Pallet can then answer them by finding that phenomenal 2v2 and continuing that pressure speaks to the amount of growth that this duo is making.
I think, especially with the positioning comment here, Mickey X as well, but Jankos is under attack.
And we already know he's flashless without mana at all. An easy kill for Meliodas if he wants to burn the ult. Doesn't have to. Just Prey Seeker gets him level 7. Walks right back out of the jungle. 7-0. Here comes the next one. The knockup is in. Shen is delivered. A double kill for the Rek'Sai. 8-0 for the Fong Vu Buffalo. They're getting plates off of mid lane. Meliodas is just on fire.
The snowball is real for the Fong Vu Buffalo. You can see G2 having flashbacks to last year as Fongfu continue to extend this lead.
Sylvedius, I heard people calling G2 the baby IG, and after seeing last game with the early deficit, I think this might be a little bit too far down that happy game route, because they're getting into the point where how do you even come back from this big of a deficit only 10 minutes in? Fongfu Buffalo have the firepower to finish it.
And the honest answer is wonder. He is a man that has carried this entire team on his back before. I think back to when they played against Fnatic during the regular season, where it was one of the most tense games that we had throughout the entire split, and it was Wonder that put G2 into that position. His rise is considered one of the best in the world, and if anyone's going to turn this game around, it will be him.
Here's another look at Meliodas, gets sight of Jankos, and he knows this Karthus, no mana, gonna be an easy chase down. Doesn't have to use the ultimate because Prey Seeker is available. He knows there's no flash, and then with the Shen ultimate, they can dive caps as well.
Meanwhile, to the fight top, so this time the Requiem could be enough. Oh, he's gonna heal and stay alive, a solo kill, but now Caps is in. That should be one picked up. Finally, G2 are on the board, but it took 3 of them to take out Zeros.
Wonder was supposed to be the hero. He was supposed to be the savior of G2.
You were the chosen one!
And then he gets killed by Zeros. Beautiful stuff from the top lane carry of PVB, extending the kills to 9.
Yeah, they trade flashes there, and Wonder only gets an assist in the end. Now that's gonna be very close to the completed Gunblade for Zeros. And it turns in his favor. Meliodas is going to be able to take up the objective on the back half. It's just a Mountain Drake early on, but since they have such a big lead, as soon as we get to 20 minutes, that Baron threat is so real.
Mountain picked up without issue here. Looks like it's going to be going down. We can watch that top lane fight again, and Zeros has the high ground.
So we can see Wonder actually relatively low on mana, but he uses the root very early. So this is the window that Zeros can go in to get those trades. He has the invisibility thanks to the Shroud, and you think that at this point the ult is going to be enough, but thanks to taking those points in the precision tree, he gets the health back and is able to come out on top of Wonder and surviving the Karthus ultimate.
And the timing was tight. Wonder almost was able to dodge R2. He tried to flash away, flash perpendicular, get out of the AoE, couldn't quite do it in time. I think it's got to be predictive, and he just wasn't quite there.
Also, the timing on the overall play, if you look at the beginning of that, Caps was waiting in Tribush. G2 were trying to set up the mid lane gank on it initially, but then they waited too long, so he starts going back down, and that's when Zeros went in. So just a little bit off in the timings all across the board here. Meliodas, though, invading, does get the control ward down, but doesn't want to overextend as soon as they see Mickey X.
I love what Meliodas has done so far this game. Oh, fighting in mid.
Then find the taunt. That's going to be a knockout. That's going to be stopwatch by his 2.5 seconds, but it should still be. Oh, it's dead! Limping away. The heal comes in. He survives it. Shout out to Null for the shield as well. And that is nothing on the board.
Yeah, shield and heal from Null, able to boost him out there. G2 make a play, try and get some cooldowns in mid lane, but no gold reward.
Man, Pallet and Meliodas are popping off this game. Meliodas utilizing his powerful laners and strong jungler to invade the enemy side of the jungle and steal away as much as possible, whereas Pallet utilizing this ultimate whenever it's available, looking for plays, and now with the Rift Herald secured, they're looking to take this mid-tier 1.
Yeah, that thing's done for. Charge gets off, both plates explode.
If they're not going to be in range, they're going to miss all the local gold, and that's... Yeah, plate's not going over. First turret gold is local gold as well. Actually, it is just the one plate that would have dropped.
That being said, on the top side, since Ryze roamed down, there was a plate picked up by Zeros. So Akali getting at least some money out of the pressure towards mid, and on the bottom side, Big Coral doing the same.
4 plates taken bottom lane, and that was mostly heads up 2-on-2. Meliodas did come by, I believe it was once, and converted again. This is a very, very good game out of Fongfu Buffalo. 4.8 thousand ahead is ludicrous to start out. And now an attempt towards top side, they find the stun. Realmort buys a bit of space, but he's already back in range for more. Here comes everything else they needed. Void Rush comes in, that's the kill. Now under the turret, a nice taunt, but not the E backwards. That one's not gonna land, so no kills picked up bot lane. And that is just Dark Harvest stacks. Can't even kill Zeros.
Yanko's trying, but he's been put so far behind in this early game, he doesn't quite have the damage. Caps now underneath the tower. We'll just slide and glide out of that situation, but Meliodas continuing to gank. He's not slowing down. Fongbu Buffalo utilizing the big lead they built up in the first 10 minutes, and they're continuing that pressure. Just look at the number of plates they picked up in the first 14 minutes of the game.
And that's the key. Keep up this speed. Mid and bottom turrets are so low. If they can take those down and blow up in the game. Here's another look at the top side, though. Wonder is able to avoid the initial knockup, but then it's a dive under with the ultimate, and PVB find the kill. Again, that triumph feel off of that kill saves him from the Karthus ultimate.
And now we look at another fight towards the mid lane. Caps 1 and 2, decent CS, but still a little bit behind against Null here, as G2 do need some kind of a savior here into this one, as Meliodas going to find Wonder inside the jungle. Knock up, here comes the damage output. Now, how's that trade going to look as Wonder gets the kill and walks backward? Flashes in for more, though. Look how much damage comes out of this. One more shot would kill him. Waits for the shield out. Blast go down. Ult comes up, and he's got the damage. A solo kill on the top laner. Meliodas is godlike indeed.
Why did they ever bench Meliodas? He is absolutely running this game. 7 kills on the rec side.
And finally, Fongbu Buffalo will find their first objective of the game, and they're looking to convert it into more. This is the most dominant Fongbu Buffalo have looked so far in the group stages, and every time G2 try to answer, they get shut down.
Vietnam has gone so far. 3 times in a row, making it here through the play-ins to the MSI group stage and making a very big statement in this game.
Yeah,
11
really
kills to 1. Whew. With mid turret, top turret both down, and bottom turret just a few hits away. They're very close to getting to the next stages. Here goes Zeros, though.
Pretty good damage. Pro slow charge. Look how much damage that is. He's just gone. He's just gone. What a kill. Zeros him out.
Listen to the crowd there in Vietnam. They are believing that this success is very close, and so is Big Coral.
Here comes the big engage. It is a 2 versus 3, though. Advantage comes over to the Karthus. Now a jump over the wall, forcing that flash away from Big Coral. Flash for Perks, but Meliodas, who else is already here? Zeros in the mix as well. Rek'Sai finds yet another, and G2 are running out of health bars. That is an ace at 17 minutes.
Fongbu Buffalo are obliterating G2 right now. Like, it looks like that they're trying to take the IG approach. They're going for every fight. They're trying to keep every member alive, but they cannot repeat the success of IG. And Fongbu come out with 4 kills for 1. Beautiful stuff from Fongbu, and even domestically, no one has had this kind of a lead. No one has looked this convincing against G2. Such a beautiful stomp from the side of Fongbu.
All right, let's take another look at how this one starts out. Big Koro just ults right on to Mickey X. And even though Pallet is the first casualty here, when Big Koro flashes over and Perks tries to answer, Meliodas is there to get the knock-up, then follow through with the rest of the play. Zero's completing the teleport on the Akali, and they pick up every last one of those kills.
And note, that would have been an ace had Yankos' passive ran out just a little bit earlier, because Wonder was dead in that whole fight. Zeros found a kill top and then TP bot. So finding an ace against G2, 18 minutes into the game, beautiful stuff from the side of Fongbu. And it feels like that they're finally claiming their debt for last year.
Okay, Wonder's here, so no dive, but we all know that could have been a solo kill if he really wanted it. Out goes Zeros, happy to play a bit more defensively this time around. But everywhere around the map, with an 11,000 gold lead, PVB only finds success.
Yeah, Vietnam has always been able to take games off of the major regions, and they're showing that 2019 will be no exception.
It's always Europe, though, Kobe. Like, it was
no.
It was Gigabyte Marines at Worlds in 2017 against Fnatic. Fongbu Buffalo last year in 2018 against G2.
And it might be Fongbu Buffalo against G2 here at MSI, as well as a nice knockup comes in. Meliodas there with the squad. Shen's here to arrive, and it's going to be a nice shield. The dodge zone as well. Stopwatch pops. Now in comes Null. Shockwave gets 2. Look at the health bars dropping down. Null gets 1. In goes the Killer Instinct. And this is going to be no damage onto the AD carry, but still taunted and still picked off. A nice shutdown comes in there. Cat finds a stun. He's running away, finds some minions to kill and heal back up off of. And G2 gets something at least.
Yeah, are they going to get out as well? It looks like PVB have decided that is too dangerous, diving Caps at the turret. So they turn back. Caps trying to defend the control ward.
Whew. G2 are being pushed to the limit right now. They are 10,000 gold behind. It would be insurmountable for Fongbu to lose this game in the situation that they're in. Honestly, this is like one of the best case scenarios for G2 where this looks like they have a numbers advantage, even though the Shen ult comes through, but they're at such a massive deficit. Even Pallet is tanking up 4 members. Enough time for Null to come in, land the shockwave, and swing the fight in PVB's favor.
Yep, definitely a big stopwatch there, did by an extra kill, but again, a 1v1.
Look at the damage up, but can't quite get the execute. Will not be flashing forward for any more of it. But you can see how much damage that deals, and until a stopwatch comes in or something else to immune more of the damage, maybe some more MR, it's going to keep being that difficult. Zero so far ahead of his opponent, individual gold-wise, 2,000.
I will say, these bounties here on the top half of the map are probably the next target for G2. If they can find some of these kills on the key members, then that would be their hope in coming back in this game. They do have a Karthus on the team. That is guaranteed damage output for later in the game. It's just that Fongbu Buffalo have such a giant lead that is incredibly hard to get any of those bounties. Meliodas has been destroying this entire game on the rec side. It doesn't look like it's going down anytime soon.
And honestly, when Fongbu Buffalo have had leads, it's been 2, maybe 3k gold, and then they've made that mistake where one team fight could swing the game back in the opposite team's favor. But this time around, even if Fongbu Buffalo make a mistake, maybe 2 mistakes, I don't know if that's going to be enough to immediately close the gap. So at this point, to me, it feels like G2 are really relying on a miracle to come back into this game.
Well, a clean ace 5 for 0 would be about 4,000 gold with all the bounties considered. That gets you halfway there. About a third of the way there. The gold lead now closer to 12,000, but that is the road forward for G2.
And G2 have had huge plays in this tournament so far. Just yesterday with the Flash Wolves, that Baron 2v4 by Caps and Wonder are the types of things that we're gonna need to see from this team right now if they want to turn it around. Meanwhile, Fongbu Buffalo want to show that they too can push in and finish the game with this type of lead. They have the vision on Baron, but they have to do the work of clearing out those G2 wards.
Here, looking at the next attempt. Shotgun's gonna find Mickey X. They're gonna have a lot of damage in, and he has no way out. The ult's not gonna get through. Big Koro is gigantic, 5-1. Now looking at Jankos over the wall, back through the base gate. He will stay alive, but the Siege can keep pushing in 5v4, waiting for the next wave.
Yep, minion wave pretty far down there, halfway down Summoner's Rift. There is a Mountain Dragon available. If they pick that one up, the Baron does become very easy to burn through. They might not need it though, because they've already got one, and they've got control of the area.
All right, they're going to start this one up. This is G2's opportunity to come back into the game, but can they even approach? Can G2 make the miracle still happen once again?
It's a flashless Karthus, so it has to be a lay waste over the wall, and with Taunt, he can't do it. There's the pickup right there. Baron is on, and it's still a 5v4 team fight. Mickey X cannot join. His ult is on cooldown. Walking over now.
PVB also have the inside track on the mid lane, but they're going for the fight!
Meliodas flash knocks up, gets one, has to be careful though. Health bar gets low, ult buys a bit of time, but he's still gonna get shut down. 1-0, look at the second kill, and Jankos can't get it just yet. Finally now, Zeros gets one. 4v4 in the map, big ulti comes out, but already double kill for the Akali. Make it a third now for the Orianna, only one trade back for Jankos. Gets actually 2, it's 3 for 3 overall.
Actually ends up being an even trade for G2, which is the best case scenario for them in this situation. 3 Barons will drop on the side of Fongbu, and a lot of shutdowns will go into the back pockets of G2.
The key shutdown, the one on Meliodas, is taken by G2. Here's another look. Again, they have the inside track on the mid wave here for PVB, yet Meliodas flashes in to force the fight. Getting room prisoned up, he goes down first, and then it is G2 able to use the Karthus ultimate to guarantee the damage on every single member.
And remember that Fongbu Buffalo, it's understandable why they went for that fight. They had a 10,000, I mean, they still have an 11,000 gold lead, but the reality is they didn't need to. With the gold advantage that they had, they could have looked to play it safe. They could have looked to split up the map, but unfortunately now they've lost 3 Baron members. While that doesn't stop them from being able to siege, it definitely means that G2 have a smaller window to farm and stall out and wait for another opportunity to bounce back.
G2 fans saying at least they have a window though.
Yeah.
That team fight was definitely a big move for G2. Let's see if Fongbu Buffalo can still bring the Baron buffs they have left to continue to take down these towers. Now they're gonna pick up the Mountain Drake. They're slowing down a little bit after that mistake.
Baron power play essentially neutralized those shutdown gold, basically counting for the fact that Baron's got 1500 itself, and now we look at the siege continuing. Baron buff is there on pallet on the Shen. He can get around the map. The ulti back available here. Zeros, though missing the buff, can get a lot of damage on top lane as well, as we see that turret take some licks, and G2 are trying to play for this bottom lane pressure. They're trying to go for an actual kill here, going for a fight, as there's no one answering the Akali. That will be gold in the pockets. Slowly but surely it gets whittled down. Meliodas here to make sure they have the rest of the DPS, and that will be turret number 6 for Fangbu Buffalo.
And I'm just kind of looking at where the biggest goal discrepancies lie, but I might not have time. Shockwave.
Giant Shockwave Distortion hitting pretty heavily, and it's half HP on many of those members. G2 forced 2 back to recall.
So that's where one of the biggest goal discrepancies lie. The fact that Norl is 3-0 and 8 has decided to go for the Magi Soul Stealer and is now working towards what looks like a death cap as his 4th major item. He is so far ahead of his lane opponent, but the biggest discrepancy is between the 280 carries. Big Koro has 3,000 to 4,000 gold over perks. He's completed his 3 core items, and he is so terrifying to deal with in these upcoming fights.
A bit of a culling damage there on Azeros, but gets back by the minion wave, and he's once again fine. Still 2v1 though. He missteps too heavily, might have to burn the ult to get away. Still able to wave clear, healing back up with the Gunblade.
So now the bright side for G2 is the Baron buff is about to wear off, and none of the Nexus towers ended up dropping. So they're looking to continue to stall, continue to buy time, and wait for that big mistake to come out from PVB.
Yep. Koro's actually walking up to the tower here, and Caps goes in.
Find the stun, finds some damage. In comes Galley over the top, and they've knocked down Caps already. Pallet gets one on the top of it. 5v4, that's already G2 running back into their base without kills.
Big Koro was ready for that great ultimate for him to get outside of the Galio range. Karthus ultimate goes down.
Pretty big hit, but Big Koro's still alive. Health bar's low enough that PVB might have to be really respectful over this one. Only one can go back in as we wait for Pallet to recall.
That Karthus ultimate pushes them off the continued siege though. So Caps does go down. That is 1 kill for PVB. They're chased off with the extra magic damage.
It was such a dangerous fight for G2 to take. Imagine if they lose here, they could have lost the game, but they go for the gamble anyway. Beautiful cleanse coming out from Big Koro to reposition and then start dealing damage from the back end of the fight. The Galio ultimate from G2 was not enough to keep Caps alive, but as you said, Kobe, the ultimate from Jankos was enough to dissuade PVB, and now they're going to be waiting for the next Baron to spawn before they try and set up another siege.
Back on the map, 14,000 gold, what G2 must work back from. They've been able to, amazingly enough, fight close to equal though. Yes, the last fight was a 1-for-0, but there were elements there that maybe it was a chance. Fangbu Buffalo, of course, very, very far ahead and waiting for the next round of objectives. A minute 15 on Baron Nashor. You expect them to just play for this top river and say, okay, we'll claim that, and that'll be how we push the game out.
And gold is one thing, but we're looking at specific items. Jankos wants to complete his death cap on the Karthus, and 2 more levels for that level 16. That is a big break point, because up until then, they're just going to get out DPS.
Yes.
You mentioned already the extra stacks in the Magi Soul Stealer there for Null in the mid lane. Pallet does get auto-attacked.
Gets stunned, and the team is joining in now. Rai showing up as well. Is there going to be a re-engage? Pallet getting dropped a little bit lower. A flash wall finds a slow and a Null, but the Shockwave forced him to disengage. But now this team is stuck in the middle of the Summoner's Rift. Looking now towards Meliodas, getting some damage down. Void Rush pops, get knocked up again, has Guardian Angel. Now towards the backside, Caps at 12 health, and Big Koro takes in the mid laners. Meliodas knocks down the support as well. So it's a 4v3 to keep pushing, and keep pushing they will. Looking at Jankos, the damage is there. The ulti not quite up. So it's going to be the push now towards the mid lane with 4 alive versus 2.
That is it. PVB can get inside the base now. Bottom turret's almost dead itself, and they are running a 4v2 power play.
And G2, they tried to force a fight in the mid lane. They thought they could catch Null out of position, but it was Null baiting G2 into the fight, being drawn out of their base. PVB will finally secure their first inhibitor of the game, and maybe they can immediately transition it into a Baron.
10 seconds on many of the respawns. Baron is already there and available, and there is no Jankos for more than 12. If they want to rush it down, they probably could. Double Mountain Drake makes it easy. First, they're going to grab this red buff, though, and Meliodas will get the regen out of it.
Look at Null.
Yeah, I think they definitely are going to go for it here. Double Mountain Drakes, inhibitor down in mid lane, giving them extra pressure. Will G2 get any sort of vision? Mickey X is the one heading towards that area, but he would have to steal it with a Galio Q.
Without ability power. Seems unlikely, but we've seen stranger things. Not going to happen. Good smite. Meliodas grabs up Baron number 2 and stretches the gold lead even further.
Zeros is level 18 now on this Akali, 29 minutes into the game. Level 17 for Null. Fongfu Buffalo are looking so clean, and this was just Caps thinking that he had caught Pallet out. He thinks this is great. If we commit all these members, we can go for this play. Because look at the minimap, you can see that actually a number of PVB members are kind of split apart. Unfortunately for G2, they can't lock down Pallet. He flashes out, and then G2 are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Exactly. All that PVB wanted was a fight with G2 outside of turret range. And then being able to lure them through the mid lane then allows Meliodas to force it. Even though all the members aren't there at the beginning, they're able to force the team fight. They pick up the extra kills. Baron buff number 2 means that this exposed inhibitor will not live very long.
And here's the play yet again. G2 not trying to give up too easily. A flash over the wall keeps the mid laners safe, and of course, Gallia showing up a little bit later than that comes down, but G2 now forced to once again walk away. Meliodas leading the charge in. No Hasgard and Angel finds him. Knockup in comes Big Cora trying to duel against Wonder. Big damage to those health bars, and the red team is dropping. G2 have lost 2 already. Meliodas tracing in for his third. Shockwave doesn't hit much, but it doesn't really matter. Yankos can cast Requiem, but the health bars are going to be high enough. That is it. Fongfu Buffalo will not go winless. They will knock down G2. They will find that win, kill the Nexus, and in a slugfest of a game, 31 kills in as many minutes, Fongfu Buffalo find G2 Esports' Nexus.